Okay, good morning. So we are now going to start with the next Chinese menu. We've already done one Chinese menu in the beginning of Sem 6. We are going to cover one more Chinese menu because like we all know, Chinese cuisine is very vast. Okay, it's very well known. Okay, so we're going to try and cover a few more authentic traditional Chinese dishes. So we are going to show you a few different ingredients and we are going to show you a few different cooking methods. So this menu consists of, again we are going to make a different type of a dumpling. In the last menu we had ready-made wrappers that we use for the spring roll. Today we are going to make the dumpling dough and we are going to make an open dumpling called as siu mai. Then we have kung pao chicken and kung pao potatoes. That's going to be your main course. We have a non-veg version and the veg version for the vegetarians. Then we are going to make a rice preparation. Last time we had cooked hakka noodles. Now we are going to make a rice preparation. So we are going to show you how to cook the rice, and we are going to make a rice preparation called as yang chow fried rice. And then lastly we have Chinese style stir fried vegetables, which is again a very simple dish. We'll make the sauce separately and the vegetables separately, and then we'll toss it. Okay, so that's going to be our menu. Siu mai, kung pao chicken, kung pao potatoes, yang chow fried rice and Chinese stir fried vegetables. For the Chinese stock, we need some bones, ginger, spring onion peels and some carrot peels. For the siu mai mixture, we need some oyster sauce, light soy sauce, rice vinegar, sesame oil, salt, pepper, boneless chicken, prawns, spring onion, ginger, garlic, dried mushrooms, cabbage, 1 egg, corn flour and some honey. For the kung pao chicken and potatoes, we need spring onion, dry red chilies, toasted peanuts, ginger, garlic, some sesame oil, light soya sauce, boneless chicken, Sichuan peppercorns, brown sugar, red chili sauce, rice vinegar, white wine, salt, corn flour and some potatoes. So for the yang chow fried rice, we need some long grain rice, some salt, pepper, some sugar, light soya sauce, some green peas, ginger, garlic, carrot, American corn, red capsicum, spring onion, stock bulb and the greens, some boneless chicken, egg and prawns. For the Chinese style stir fried vegetables, we need some bok choy, Chinese cabbage, red and yellow capsicum, spring onion, stock bulb and greens, carrot, mushrooms, ginger, garlic, some sesame oil, some sesame seeds, white vinegar, miso paste, 5 spice powder, some chili flakes, salt, pepper and some sugar. So to begin with the plan of work, like I always say, keep the gas ranges occupied. So on one gas range we are going to make a stock. We are going to use this stock to cook the rice as well as make the kung pao sauce. So we already processed the bones here. We already shown you how to make a stock. Okay, so we processed the bones here and we have all the trimmings of the vegetables, especially spring onion. We have some carrot peels here. We have some wilted spring onion greens and we have got some ginger. Okay, so we are going to use this to flavor our Chinese stock. And on the second gas, what we are going to do is we are going to blanch the corn and the peas for the fried rice. Okay, so we are going to occupy both the gas ranges first and then we'll work at the table. Okay, so if you see here, we've taken half a copper bottom vessel with water, that's about 1 liter of water. We are going to add in the bones to the cold water and we are going to allow this to boil, and then we'll take out the scum and then we'll lower the flame and add in the aromatic vegetables. Okay, and then on the other gas, we have a saucepan here. We've kept some water for boiling. In that, once the water comes to a boil, I'll add in a pinch of salt and then I'm going to boil the corn and the peas until they are cooked or they are soft. Okay, so at the table what we are going to do is we are going to soak the oyster mushroom for the siu mai mixture. Okay, now you can use oyster, you can use shiitake mushroom as well. Okay, I had oyster mushroom, so I'm going to use that. So I'm going to use the same water that is been boiling for the corn and the peas. So I'm going to just take some of that hot water and soak these mushrooms. And then I'm going to pick, wash and drain the rice for the Gyang Chow fried rice. Okay, so the rice has been cleaned. If you see here, the peas and the corn, they have been cooked. They take the same amount of time to cook. So they have been cooked, so we are going to take them out on the plate. We are going to reserve the water, not waste this hot water. We are going to use this water to parboil the potatoes. Okay, so at the table now we are going to make the Kung Pao sauce. Why we are making it now? Because we are going to marinate the chicken with the same sauce. Okay, so I'm going to make the sauce first and take a little bit aside, and we're going to marinate the meat. Okay, now for the Kung Pao sauce, what we need is, first we have a light soya sauce here. Now if you do not have light soya sauce, you can use dark soya sauce as well. Okay, this just gives a slightly lighter brown color. To this we are going to add some sesame oil. Okay, go a little low on the sesame oil because it's strong. Now this is a complete vegetarian sauce. Okay, so the same sauce will go for the Kung Pao potatoes as well. To that we are going to add in some rice vinegar. Again, if you don't have rice vinegar, you can add normal vinegar. To that we are going to add in some brown sugar. Again, if you don't have brown sugar, you can use plain refined sugar. You can use honey as well. To that we are going to add some white wine. Now if you have mirin, then that's better. Okay, but you can substitute that with white wine. Then we're going to add in some chili sauce. You can add red chili paste as well. We're going to add in some pepper powder, some salt. We are going to whisk this. Now I haven't added the corn flour that goes inside the sauce because I need to make the marinade first. Okay, so whisk this well. The Kung Pao sauce needs to have a reddish color to it, which is going to come from the chili paste or the chili sauce. So if you see here, okay, almost 75% of the sauce is being made. This I'm going to take it out. I'm going to take a little bit of the marinade, of the sauce as a marinade. And then I'm going to marinate the meat here. While making the dish, finally, I'm going to add corn flour and chicken stock to it. But that's going to be at the time that we make the dish. Okay, so I'm going to keep this aside. That is 75% of the sauce that has been made here. But we've taken a little bit of the sauce as a marinade over here. Then we are going to process the chicken. Now Kung Pao chicken usually has dices of boneless meat. Just going to dice them up and put it inside the sauce. Okay, you see here, I'm marinating the meat, a little bit of the sauce, the Kung Pao sauce. Okay, this will marinate for about 30 to 45 minutes before we cook it. It's going to go inside the fridge. Okay, so the chicken has been marinating. One gas range is free. On the other gas, stock is being made. So now we are going to parboil the potatoes for the kung pao potatoes. So on the other gas, which is free, we've kept the same water that we used to boil the peas and the corn. We've kept that for boiling. And now we are going to process the potatoes. So peel the potatoes first. Okay, the potatoes have been peeled. Now again, there is no specific cut. You can either cut them into big batons, okay, or you can cut them into big dices. So I am really going to cut them into big pieces like this. Okay. Okay, so if you see here, the water is now going to come to a boil. Usually if you're making mashed potatoes, you will start potatoes in cold water, but here we don't want the potatoes to absorb more water and release more starch. We are going to fry them later. Okay, hence only if you want to parboil the potatoes and fry them, you can add them in boiling water. I'm going to boil this for exactly 2 minutes and I'm going to strain them and keep them in a colander over a vessel so that all the excess moisture drains out. If you see here, the scum has been formed. Okay, so we'll take out the scum and then add in the aromatic vegetables. Okay, so if you see here, we've taken out the scum. I'm going to lower the flame now. Our stock is always simmered. Okay, so on the low flame now we are going to add in all the aromatic vegetables over here. Make sure to take out the scum well. Okay, so we've added all the aromatic vegetables. This is going to simmer for another 20 minutes. Okay, so we are now going to make the siu mai or the dumpling dough. Okay, it's a very simple dough. So we take refined flour, add in some salt. Okay, just make a small well. In that we are going to add in warm water. Okay, if the water is a little too warm or hot to handle with your hands, then you can first mix the dough with a spatula or a spoon and then you can work with the dough on the table. Okay, the dough has to be a slightly soft dough. Okay, once the dough starts to come together, then you can work on the work table. This is 150 grams of flour. Okay, so the dough has been made. Okay, if you see here, it's a nice soft dough. Okay, this dough will rest. Okay, the dough will rest under a damp cloth at the corner of the table for 30 minutes. Okay, so the dough is being made at the gas range. If you can see, the potatoes have been parboiled. They've been strained and kept in the colander with a vessel down. The potatoes have to get completely dry before we fry them. If you see here, the stock is simmering. It's been about 10 minutes, another 15 minutes to go. In the stock, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a small piece of boneless chicken and that's going to go inside the stock. Now we need cooked chicken for the Yangcha fried rice. Now we could have put raw chicken dices as well in the fried rice, but Yangcha fried rice means a fried rice which is made with leftover meat and vegetables. Okay, so we want to replicate that cooked meat, hence we are going to cook the boneless piece of meat here in the stock. So it will take about 15 minutes both for the chicken as well as the stock to be done. Okay, so now at the table what we are going to do is we are going to make the siu mai mixture. So for that, first working on with the meat. So we have some leg boneless. So now that's actually going to go inside the blender. So I'm just going to roughly dice it up. Any tendons, please take it out. So roughly dice the chicken, put it inside a bowl. We are going to combine the chicken with some prawns. Okay, along with that, we've got some prawns here. Dice that up as well. Okay, now for the siu mai mixture, we are going to finely chop some vegetables. Okay, so starting with garlic, we are going to finely chop the garlic. So the garlic has been finely chopped here. I'm going to keep that on the plate. Moving on with the ginger. Ginger also has to be finely chopped. Okay, to see here, the ginger has been finely chopped. Okay, so next we are going to process the cabbage. Cabbage also needs to be finely chopped. A small piece of cabbage, since the main component is the meat. Finely chop the cabbage. So I'm going to cut them into julienne first. Okay, I'm finely chopping the cabbage. But you can make a vegetarian filling as well. The same filling that we had made for the spring rolls. Okay, that was completely veg, right? Okay, so you can use that filling and make a vegetarian version of the siu mai as well. Okay, the cabbage is done. Next we are going to move with the spring onion. Okay, so now here an important step, I am going to separate out the greens and the spring onion stem and bulb. These are going to be finely chopped. It's going to go in the filling. The greens I'm going to keep them separately and use them for the spring onion dip. Okay, so which I'm going to make a little later. I'm going to keep that aside, and the bulb I'm going to finely chop. Okay, so the spring onion, bulb and stem has been finely chopped. Okay, that's also going to go in the filling. Okay, the oyster mushrooms have become nice and soft. I'm going to use this water for the kung pao sauce. Okay, so for the non-veg we are going to add the stock, right? So for the veg I'm going to add this nice flavorful oyster mushroom liquid. Okay, the oyster mushrooms also need to be finely chopped. Mushrooms are being finely chopped. That goes on to the plate. And the prawn mixture which has been blended. Okay, in that simple we're going to put in all the ingredients that we have finely chopped. That's onion, cabbage, mushroom, okay, ginger, garlic. Okay, I'm just going to keep little bit of ginger garlic for the dip. Okay, the rest is going to go inside mixture. Okay, in that now we are going to add in all the condiments. So in goes in some rice vinegar, a little bit of sesame oil, definitely some salt, little bit of sugar. Like we know, Chinese cuisine based on sweet, sour and salty. Pepper powder. In that we are going to add in some oyster sauce. Okay, a little bit of oyster sauce just to give the umami flavor. In that we are going to add a little bit of corn flour again just to get everything together. Okay, and we're just going to break one egg. Okay, always break the egg separately in a bowl to see whether it's fine or not. Okay, to use, and then we add the egg inside. we add the egg inside and then just mix all of this together. So then our siu mai mixture is ready. Okay, so see this, the siu mai mixture is done. For the vegetarian version, again I'm saying same mixture for the spring roll. Only thing is you will have to add in some corn flour. Okay, because the corn flour will cook when it steams and that will really hold the filling together as it is an open dumpling. Okay. Okay, so if you see here, the stock has been done. It's been more than 30 minutes. Okay, so we're going to take out the piece of the chicken which has been cooked for the rice. I'm going to keep that aside. And we're going to strain the stock. Okay, now typically both the gas ranges are free. Okay, so we're going to keep that occupied. Okay, now if you remember, we had made this kung pao sauce. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to mix half of that in this mushroom water for the vegetarian version. Okay, and then in this sauce I'm going to add in stock. Okay, it's a semi-dry preparation, so I'm not adding too much stock. Now the rest of the stock entirely we need to cook the rice. Okay, so the whole flavor of the rice is going to come with the help of the stock. Okay, so this is going to come to a boil, vigorous boil. We're going to add in salt and we're going to add in the rice, and the rice is going to cook by the draining method. Because it's a long grain rice, we don't want the rice to stick to each other, so we are going to cook the rice with the draining method, hence we need a lot of stock. Okay, so one gas range here will be occupied only to cook the rice. Okay, we're now going to make the dip for the siu mai. Okay, so again it's a very simple dip. Just going to finely chop the spring onion greens. Okay, so for the dip we've chopped the spring onion greens here. That's going to go inside a bowl. Okay, take the bowl on top over here. In that we're going to add in the chopped ginger and garlic that we had processed already for the siu mai mixture. Okay, the main flavor here is going to come from the spring onion, so go really low on the ginger and garlic. Okay, to that we are going to add in hot oil. Okay, so what will happen is the spring onion will get cooked with the hot oil. Okay, to that we are going to add in some seasonings and some condiments. So a little bit of salt, light soy, not much, we want that green color. I'm going to add in some rice vinegar, a little bit of sourness, and then we're going to add in some honey. Okay, again I don't want to make it very sweet, so a little bit of honey and give this a good mix. Okay, and that's your very simple spring onion dip. You can also add in coriander if you want. Okay, but yeah, that's the spring onion dip. Okay, so if you see here, the rice is cooked completely. It has been strained. Okay, what we are going to do is we are going to put it on a flat surface like this, because we don't want it to stick to each other, because this is going to cook a little further as it is hot. Okay, so spread out the rice and then we can use it at the end. So the oil is hot, we have to fry the potatoes. Okay, what we're going to do is, just to make the potatoes crispy from the outside, we're going to dust them with some corn flour. Only make sure before you put corn flour, the potatoes have to be dry. Okay, and then you simply fry the potatoes. Okay, you have to fry them until they are completely cooked and nice golden brown from the outside. Okay, this is the plate of garnishes. Okay, I'm doing this somewhere in the middle, okay, of the plan of work. So what we have here is some julienne carrot, which we are going to use on top of the siomai. Okay, these are sesame seeds here. We're going to add them on the Chinese stir-fried vegetables. Okay, this is some fried garlic, which we are going to put on top of the kung pao. We have some chili flakes here. We have some peanuts here. Again, I'm just going to go on top of the kung pao. We have some fried chili here, which I'm going to put on top of the fried rice. Okay, what I'm going to do with the spring onion bulb. So I have a bulb here. So I'm just going to make a flower. Okay, so what I'm going to do, the stem, I'm just going to make gashes, vertical gashes. Okay, and I'm going to keep it in ice cold water. Okay, so that's going to go inside water and it's going to curl up. So I'm going to use that as a garnish. Okay, the greens, what I'm going to do is, again, I'm going to cut a few lausanne. I'm going to keep that in water. And then a little bit I'm going to cut into julienne, and that's also going to go in the cold water, so that will curl up and become crisp as well. Okay, this can be used as a garnish. Chinese food is not pre-plated as such. It's all given in bowls, but they can be garnished as well. You always eat with your eyes first. Okay, so your food always has to be presented well. So with all the ingredients that you have, you can make some garnish or the other. Okay, so that's going to go in water along with this and the spring onion bulb. So that is the garnish. Yes, I have one more garnish here. Just going to keep it here on the plate, the spring onion. Okay. We have prawn. That's not a garnish on the dish. It's just going to go as a part of the dish on the plate. Okay, have some skewer, one wooden skewer here, and a small piece of prawn. Okay, so I'm going to remove the vein without taking out the shell. Okay, so with the help of the skewer, you can just pull out the vein. Look at that. Okay, so you can clean the prawn whole without taking out the shell. Okay, and then just insert a skewer from the tail end towards the head. So with that, the prawn stays straight and whole. Okay, so we can grill the prawn or shallow fry the prawn and put it as a part of the plate presentation. Okay, so we don't really have anything to do on the gas. Okay, the potato has been frying on one gas. Okay, so after we are done with the garnishes, we are now going to work with the processing of the vegetables for the Chinese stir-fried vegetables as well as the yang chow fried rice. Okay, so beginning with the fried rice vegetables, we already have the corn and the peas which are cooked. If you see here, okay, it's already cooked. Now we want to cut all the vegetables in the size of the corn and the peas. Okay, so that's the standard size for the rice. Moving on to the red capsicum, that's also going to be cut into dices. The spring onion, greens to be cut into thin roundels like this. Okay, the bulb can be finely chopped, or that also can be diced. Garlic has been finely chopped. Finely chop the ginger. We are done with the processing of the vegetables for the rice. Moving on to the vegetables of for the Chinese stir-fried vegetables. All have to be cut into big chunks or big dices or big pieces. Mushroom, just cutting them 1 by 2. Spring onion also, you take out the stem and the bulb, cut them into big chunks like this. Okay. Greens also, you can cut them into big pieces like this. Yellow, red capsicum similarly. Okay, it has to look colorful, and so I'm going to keep them nice and big. There's no standard cut, you can cut them into triangles, lozenge, squares, where you want. The Chinese cabbage. Okay, you won't be using so much. Cut it into half. Quickly wash it under water. Okay, after cleaning the Chinese cabbage again, then just cut them into big pieces like this. Moving on to the bok choy. Again, cut it lengthwise. Here, if there's any mud, please clean it. See, okay, there's a lot of mud, so we're going to clean it. Take out the stalk here, then you can separate out all the leaves and then you clean it. Okay, so for the carrot, I'm just going to show you one design what you can do. Okay, just make a few cuts around the carrot. Okay, and then what you can do is figure a nice flower shape here, and then just cut them into slices. Here the bok choy has been cleaned. Okay, so we are going to use bok choy as well. Okay, and then we have to chop some ginger and garlic, and that's going to go in our dish as well. That's some chopped ginger, garlic. That's finely chopped ginger. Okay, so the dishes have all the misa has been done. So we just work on the gas, but that all has to be done at the last minute. Okay, so before that we'll work with the siu mai. Okay, the dough has been rested here. Okay, just make a small hole in the center and then roll this out into a ring. You can also roll it out on the table. Okay, but for all those who tend to, roll it out thinly in one side and thick on the other, when you make a ring like this, okay, you end up putting equal pressure, okay, everywhere, and then you get an evenly thinned out dough. Okay, if you see that evenly thinned out here, then you can cut it out exactly into half. Right? Look at that. Similarly for the other part, and then you can cut out small portions, approximately about 8 to 10 grams per piece. Okay, I'm going to keep this as well under the duster to prevent it from drying. Alternatively, what you can do is you can take half of the dough, roll it out completely with the help of a rolling pin and cut out circles or cut out squares. You can do that as well. Okay, make sure you have a tray ready with you like this, greased. Now if you are steaming this inside the oven, okay, or like we showed you in the last menu, you make a steamer on the gas. Take a rolling pin and roll out the dough as thin as you can. Now generally what they do is they have have a specific rolling pin where you thin out the dough at the edges and you keep it slightly thick in the center. Okay, but here let's keep it very simple. Roll out a circle like this. Okay, I'm just rolling out two or three for now, and then I'll show you how to stuff it or give the typical siu mai shape. Try not using too much flour. You can even use corn flour. Siu mai typically is done with a round piece of dough. Okay, and not square, otherwise it's not going to get that shape. China, they have a technique to roll out the dough very thin. Rolled it over here and then keep pressing it like this, and then the dough is nice and thin. These are all techniques which will come through practice. Okay, so right now I'm just making 3. You can make all, dust some corn flour in between and stack them, and you can freeze them as well, putting it in a sealed bag. Okay, now for the siu mai shape, okay, what we have here is, we have the sheet here. Okay, you have to make a ring, okay, like this with the help of your 2 fingers. Okay, put the sheet in the center, okay, make a slight cavity here. I'm just going to brush a little bit of water only at the edges. Okay, and what we are going to do is, we are going to put the stuffing in the center, a good amount of stuffing. Okay, and then just get all the sides together. Okay, it's as simple as that. Then dab your finger with water and flatten this top part. Okay, we are not looking really for a portly down. Okay, so slightly press that as well. Okay, and make it slightly squarish below, and the top part has to actually stick. Okay, and little bit of the meat should pop out like this, and it should be seen. Okay, so that is the siu mai shape. I'm going to show you one more. Again, make a ring with the help of your 2 fingers, your thumb and your forefinger. Okay, make a slight cavity here. Okay, a little bit of greasing. Even if you don't, it's fine, it's going to stick. The meat has that kind of moisture. Good amount of stuffing, you know, otherwise it becomes too doughy. Okay, and then just fold in the sheet from the sides. Like this. Put little pressure so that the meat pops out. Okay, tap the base so it gets a nice base with some water. Make the meat surface on top flat and stick the dough. See that on the sides? And that's a siu mai shape. Okay, so the siu mai has gone inside the steamer. We are going to work with the kung pao chicken and the potatoes because both the gas ranges are free. We have some ginger garlic finely chopped. We have some roasted peanuts here. We are going to work with the dry red chilies and the spring onion. For the dry red chilies, just simply cut them into big pieces like this. That's how classically it goes in kung pao dishes. So you can make kung pao with chicken, with potatoes, with lamb. So the Chinese, unlike other Southeast Asian countries like Thai or Indonesian or Malaysian, they use dry chilies over fresh chilies. Okay. Okay, so we have dry red chilies here. Moving on to the spring onion. Again, take out the greens and the stem separate. Again, cut this also into big chunks. Okay, I am cutting this common for both potato and the non-veg. Okay, I am just going to cut them into slices, around 1-inch pieces. On the plate. Now we can proceed to work on the gas. Okay, we're going to put some oil, normal oil. Okay, in that I'm going to cook the chicken first. Allow this to cook. On the other gas here, in a wok, again I will take some oil and we are going to make the vegetarian version of the Kung Pao chicken. So the potatoes are already cooked. Okay, so we're going to make the sauce first and then add in the potatoes. So for that, heat up some oil. Oil is hot. Put in some ginger, garlic, little bit of the red chilies or half of the red chilies. I'm going to add in some Szechuan peppercorns crushed. In goes in half of the spring onion, stock and bulk. Until this is happening, okay, so the veg sauce. Okay, one thing we forgot to add here is the corn flour. Okay, gonna add some corn flour. Whisk. Okay, add that here. I'm going to lower the gas here. Okay, until the sauce is happening here. Okay, I'm going to lower the gas, let this cook for a minute. You can taste one piece and see. I'm going to take this out onto a plate. Oil. Okay, see here, the sauce has got nice and glossy and thick. Okay, in goes in the potatoes. Okay, toss the potatoes. This has to be served at once. I'm going to add in a little bit of peanuts, a few spring onion greens. Okay, and your Kung Pao potatoes are done. Okay, I'm going to keep this in the pan. I'm going to come back here. Similarly, same thing. Ginger, garlic, chilies, little bit of Szechuan peppercorns. Add in the spring onion bulb. Okay. Once the ginger garlic turn nice and golden brown, add in some corn flour here as well. Whisk. Add it here. Okay. Again, saucy, you should know that the corn flour has already released its starch, and this is done. Okay, so if you see here, we presented the kung pao potatoes here, kung pao chicken over here. Okay, now this, if you see, it's a starch, kind of absorbing the sauce fast. Okay, but you can make it slightly more gravyish if you want to eat it with rice. This is going to make a simple garnish. We fried a chili, just put that on top like this. Okay, with some fried peanuts. Some fried garlic. And some spring onion greens. Spring onion greens over here. Okay, so see here, this was the dip. We put them into dip bowls like this. Okay. Want to place pieces of the same size, preferably. Okay. So that is the presentation. On top of this, I am going to put some julienne carrot. Okay, now we are going to make the sauce for the Chinese stir-fried vegetables. So in that, first the main ingredient here is miso paste, which is fermented soya bean paste, commonly used in Japanese cuisine, but they use fermented soya bean paste highly in Chinese cuisine and in a lot of other Asian cuisines as well. Okay, it's nice and strong, it is salty. Okay, so miso paste. In goes in definitely some sugar, again to balance the flavor. I'm not putting salt as of now. Pepper powder, vinegar, okay. To that, I'm going to add in some chili flakes. I'm going to keep some for garnish. To that, I'm going to add a little bit of corn flour, and you're going to add in some water. Okay, and just whisk it. Okay, I'm just going to taste this, and if I need salt, I can add some salt. Add a little bit more miso. Okay, so our sauce is done. Let's move on to the gas and finish the stir. Okay, take a wok, take oil. Again, you can use sesame oil as well, but I don't want to make it more strong. The sauce is strong because of the miso. Okay, hot oil. In goes in ginger and the garlic. Okay, once the ginger garlic starts turning golden brown, add in the carrot first, the toughest vegetable. Now here also we are looking for a crunch, okay, so we don't want the vegetables to completely cook. Taking the spring onion, bulb, capsicums, mushroom, everything to be done on a high flame. It's a stir-fried dish. Okay, just to create the steam, and cover it. Lower the flame, of course. You don't want the vegetables to burn. Lower the flame and let it cook for about 2 minutes. Okay, so 2 minutes are done. Take this out. Okay. See that the vegetables have become soft. Still have that crunch. I'm going to add in the sauce. Okay, again on a high flame. The sauce is going to thicken and coat the vegetables. At this point of time, I'm going to add in some sesame seeds. You see that? It's not a gravy. It's a light sauce which is coating over the vegetables. Style stir-fried vegetables is done. Okay, so for presentation, like I said, Chinese food is not really served for one portion. It's always served in bulk. Garnished with some spring onion greens, some chili flakes, some fried lotus stem. So you can garnish this with the fried lotus stem as well. And lastly, some sesame seeds. Moving on to the rice, the chicken. Just dicing it up. So Yangzhou fried rice, again from the Yangzhou region of China. Okay, this dish is very commonly made with the leftover meats and vegetables. Okay, so you just cook up some rice and all of the leftover meats and vegetables just goes inside the rice. It's as simple as that. Okay, prawns also have to be diced. So basically all the vegetables and meat need to have a standard size. I'm dicing this up as well. Okay, just going to break 2 eggs. And beat it. Okay. Okay, so for the rice, take oil, putting in the ginger garlic first. Now wherever you put ginger garlic, you can substitute that with ginger garlic paste as well. Okay, so once the ginger garlic are turning golden brown, add in the egg and start scrambling it. Scrambling it, only then you can cut into small pieces. That's what we want. At this point of time, I'm going to add in the prawns. Okay, and prawns will not take time to cook. Okay, at this point of time, I'm going to add in the carrot first, so that's raw. Corn, capsicum, peas, spring onions, stem and bulb. Add in the cooked chicken. This is a good mix. On a high flame itself, add in salt. I'm going to added a little bit of sugar to balance flavor. I'm going to add in some spice powder, again just for flavor. Mix it well. Now some people add soya. Okay, we are not adding soya because we want the rice to look nice and colorful. Okay, in goes in the rice. Now for the vegetarian version, you skip the egg, chicken and the prawn. Otherwise, the steps are the same. Beans. Mix it. Again, don't do this. Okay, you are going to cut into the rice. Bottom of the wok and turn. Bottom of the wok, turn. Okay, or flip. Rice is a starch. Okay, it ends up sticking on the pan. So, it's a difficult thing to toss. Okay, give it at least a minute on the gas because the rice has to become nice and hot, right? Okay, but that's Yang Chow fried rice. Time to serve the rice. Okay, mount it up. Make your food look good.